Hey guys, I don't know if anyone else has had this issue, but I looked all over YouTube for a tutorial on changing a dry suit zipper. I dive, I'm in the water every day, literally, and I rely on dry suits. I mean, I dive year-round in a dry suit. So I've gone through a lot of them. I've used just about every brand under the sun and then some. This zipper replacement really applies to almost any dry suit. I mean, there are some variations and you can kind of use your own common sense. But I'm into DUI. DUI makes a decent suit. The problem with DUI is that they are wicked expensive. I mean, these things, your average is probably somewhere around $3,000. You know, once you're done, for a stock suit, maybe a little bit less. But once you add a little customization, you're looking at some serious cash. And to go through one of these, I mean, if you're using it every single day like I am, you're going to wear it out. I mean, inevitably, nothing is built to last forever, especially in this day and age. So, of course, you take care of your suit, and it lasts a little bit longer than it normally would, you know, if you just throw it in the back of your truck, but everything wears out. So, when it's time to fix or, you know, repair something that's gone wrong with the suit, some of it is pretty elementary. I mean, some of it can be done very quickly, very easily in the course of a couple minutes or a couple hours. These are DUI CLX 450 suits, really super heavy duty. They have a lot of reinforcement patches. They're great, but the best thing I love about these suits and DUI suits in general is they have the zip seals. These seals, I don't know how many years they've had this this little thing out. It's a Ziploc bag basically. Okay, the seals resemble a Ziploc bag, and what you do when you have a seal that breaks is you take these seals out of the bag, you literally just clip them in here, you know, they fit like a Ziploc bag, and then you snip it, trim it to your wrist, and you're ready to go. And I can change out one of these things in literally less than 60 seconds. So you're out on a dive, you rip a seal. It's not the end of the world. It used to be, back in the day, you'd have to send it to a dive shop or really kill yourself to try to, you know, install the old type of seal. That was a pain in the ass. This is great. And the neck seal on the DUI suits is exactly the same. They have the exact same, you know, Ziploc type configuration in there. So it's great. I mean, you're back in business. Little tears and little abrasions for the most part on these suits. I don't think I have an example on this one. But you use Aquaseal. Aquaseal, this is a huge tube of Aquaseal. I use this quite a bit, but you can get these for about 25 bucks, and it's well worth it if you're doing a lot of repairs, or, you know, because once you open this, it has a very short shelf life. I mean, you keep it in the refrigerator or even in the freezer to stop it once it's been opened. It takes a little bit longer to cure. But eventually, within a couple weeks, maybe a couple months if you're lucky, this thing is going to be a solid thing of sealant. You know, it goes bad. So, but this stuff, if you get an abrasion, all you do is you dab a little on there, let it dry for a few hours, and you're back in business. But again, that's a little bit, you know, nobody likes to dive with a leaky dry suit. The big issue with dry suits in general is that it's the zipper, hence the thrust of this video. The zippers are an absolute nightmare. Once a zipper goes bad, and for me, that's usually about a season. So every season I'm swapping out zippers. But zippers have many problems, or with the replacement of a zipper, there are many problems that go along with that. And one is cost. The zippers are ridiculously expensive. If you send it out to a dive shop or a place that does this to be replaced, you're looking at anywhere between $350 and $450, and there are different types of zippers, different grades of zipper. This zipper here, this is what a stock DUI zipper, and this is on its way out. I have some links up here, some teeth that are on their way out. So the suit holds, but it's not holding well. I mean, I get a little, you know, the old wet shoulder, and that's not bad when you're in 50-degree water, but when you're in, you know, 35 or 45-degree water, it starts to become a real pain in the ass. Now, this is a new zipper, but this is a heavy-duty zipper. I don't know if you can see the difference in the teeth. The teeth on the new zipper are huge. They're gargantuan, and this even the feel of the zipper, it's a really well-made zipper. I ended up getting this from California. You can search that on the internet, you know, just Google, and I'm sure you can find a Drysuit zipper. But BDM is the name of the company, and I don't know exactly where they're made. I don't care where they're made. They make pretty decent zippers. But this is the one. This is going in a different suit when I have the opportunity. Back there, this, I don't know if we can see this. This red suit, that's a commercial. Kind of, it's not a Viking, but it's a rubber suit just like a Viking. And Viking was, you know, back in the day, was the be all and end all of dry suits, because there were no other options. But so okay, back to the zipper. So these zippers break, and what do? We can fix all the other little stuff on our own, but what do we do about the zipper? So I got really tired of sending out my suits to various places to have the zipper replaced, because not only was it costly, the price of a zipper itself is anywhere between, like I said, I mean, it's the zipper itself is going to be about $150, upwards of that. Maybe you can pay $250 for the heavy duty. I know the heavy duty cost me a little bit more, which is going to translate in a dive shop anyway. If you get a heavy duty zipper put in your suit, it's going to be more expensive there too. So it's not like it's you are saving money in the long run if you can successfully do this. But the big thing for me was not necessarily only the monetary issue of sending it off, but it was the time. The time involved. It takes anywhere. I called up a place in midsummer, and summertime you would think they'd be slow, because they're not fixing dry suits. It was a 2-week wait to get a zipper fixed. 2 weeks. And on top of that, I had to send it out, you know, ship it out, and pay to ship it out, pay to ship it back. So that's about $50 in shipping, depending on where you are and how far you have to send it, on top of your $350 to $450 zipper replacement. So that, in my opinion, that becomes very expensive. I mean, these suits, like, it's roughly $3,000, $3,500, whatever. That's a big portion of your suit if you're paying $500 and once a year. So trying to be resourceful and trying to be self-sufficient, I figured I'm going to try to do this myself. And there were no videos out there on YouTube, so this is mine, and hopefully this will help somebody, or at least point you in the right direction. What you want to do is, before you get, your zipper is broken and you want to replace it. So the first thing you do is you're going to get your tools set up. And what you're going to need is, you're going to need a knife, because we're going to cut that zipper out. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. Obviously you're going to need Aqua Seal, because you're going to need to seal it up. And with Aqua Seal, you're going to use this stuff. It's called Kotol 240. And the Kotol 240 comes in a large can, which you can get for, this is $50, but that's going to last you for a lifetime. You're going to need clamps, and there are different types of clamps. You have these big clamps. You can get them at Home Depot for $1, and these are sewing clamps. You actually use these on a sewing machine. And they hold pretty well. I mean, they're plastic and they feel like they're cheap, but they do a pretty decent job of holding. You're going to need a marking pencil, because once you put that zipper in, you're going to need to mark the position of it. And Ziploc bags. But you're going to take the Ziploc bags and you're going to cut them into strips, because this Aqua Seal will not stick to the Ziploc bag. So once you seal up your suit, you're going to protect it from sticking to anything else until it dries with your sealant. These are blocks. It's not really necessary, but these are, it's kind of a template block or a mandrel or something. it fits when the zipper is zipped up. The zipper fits into this slot. So because this is a three-dimensional suit, and that's one thing that's really difficult about trying to get this zipper back in, is that it's not a piece of paper. It's not a flat two-dimensional thing. It's a three-dimensional thing. Not only does this zipper start at your shoulder and end behind your back, or at your basically on your hip, but this zipper, there's almost an S curve that they've sewn into the suit. And also these zippers are installed before the suit goes together. So at the factory, it's easy for them to put these zippers in. They zip it up on a machine, and then they sew the rest of the suit together. So it's easy for them. This is difficult because you can't take your suit apart to put the zipper back in, so you have to do it in place. And it's a big pain. Trust me. So the first thing you do, I have a couple suits here. I mean, I literally have about 6 or 7 of these suits sitting around, older suits and stuff, so I'm going to use them as props. But this is my primary suit, so I'm just to show you what it looks like, you know, basically almost from the factory. This is over 2 seasons old, so it's pretty beaten up. But what you're going to do is, and I'm not going to cut this, I've already cut one out, but I was going to videotape this as I was going along, and let me tell you, this is one of the bigger nightmares I've gone through. And there's no way in the world that I would have been able to have videotaped this, but if you look on the outside of the zipper, you can see 2 stitch marks, and again, that was done at the factory. What you're going to do is you're going to stick your blade in here, and I would suggest a very sharp razor blade, but you're going to go 1 stitch at a time. You're going to clip, 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 and zip that thing all the way down. Now, you're far from done at that point. That's not going to get the zipper out, because after they've sewn it at the factory, what they do is they take that aqua seal and they seal it on the inside. Now, that sealant, this is also an adhesive, and this probably alone would hold the zipper in, but they, you know, as an added bonus, they sew it in to make it a little stronger. And I really hope this is showing up on the video, because I'm going to be pissed if it's not. But once you're done cutting the outer seam that's been sewn, you're going to take your razor blade and very gently, once you get it in there, you're just going to clip that, put a little nick in that aqua seal, and you'll see, you know, obviously, if you're holding your fingers around behind, when you cut it, you're gonna open it up, and that aqua seal, once it'll start to tear very easily, but you can help it along a little bit with your knife as you're going. And when you've done that, it's going to look like this. So this is what your zippers, this is an old, you can see all the corrosion on that. I mean, that is an old zipper that was broken on a suit. I just never used it anymore. And that's what you're going to get. Okay, you can see that's where they aqua sealed, and that's where it met the suit right here. Another thing is, if you don't know how old your suit is, DUI at least does, it's kind of a neat little thing. They put their date, the manufacture date, on here, 09 of 05. So that's the age of the suit. And as far as this, that might be an employee number. I'm not quite sure about that. You might want to contact the company. I think it's so they can trace down, you know, who made the suit, or any details about the suit. Might even be the serial number of the suit. But that's what your zipper looks like when it comes out. Okay? Doesn't look good. And on the suit, this is what it looks like on the suit. So I've taken the valves out, and that makes it a little bit easier to get everything. So, and there are videos out there for getting these things in and out. So you can just, you know, refer to your other YouTube videos to get these. There's a shoulder valve which you don't need to touch, and this is your inlet valve for adding air to the suit. So take that out, because it's going to be a lot easier to deal with. But that's what it looks like after you've cut it out, and you can see that's where the stitches went, and that's where they aqua sealed the seam. Now they also aqua sealed over the stitches, because if they didn't, once you hit the water's going to come right through all those thousands of little holes created by the sewing machine. So you've cut it out now, and you have your suit, you know, your viable suit. Make sure that you, before you get into any of this, or I guess you can do it after, is you want to measure your zipper. And the way that you measure your zipper is you measure it from the end of the zipper to the other end of the zipper. All right, so once this is out, and it'll be easier probably to measure this once it is out, although you can do it while it's in the suit. Measure it end to end. This one happens to be 34 inches, and they range 34 to 36 for my suits. If you're larger or smaller, it's going to vary depending on the size of your suit. Obviously, like a large or a tall is going to be 36, 38. I'm about a medium, so I'm usually 34 to 36 inch zipper. So you have your zipper size, and you find one on the internet and order it up. They're all pretty much the same, like the same style. You're going to get variation in heavy duty or light duty, but they all pretty much look the same. This is the new zipper, and this is the new heavy duty zipper, so it is going to be a little bit more substantial. Now you'll notice that this looks huge in comparison to the original zipper, and the only reason for that is that once they get the zipper in, they cut. You're going to take a razor blade and you're going to trim it down. So although this looks absolutely massive compared to your original zipper, it's not, because this is going to be trimmed down and sealed after the zipper is in. Now if you look at the original zipper,